Hello, friends. It's Erin with Simple Purposeful Living, and I am so excited to hop on live and talk with my friend Kelsey about how she tweaks her way to a life she loves. The sun is shining today. Oh, it's Friday. There's a lot of good that's in the world today, right? So go ahead, and as you're hopping on, go ahead and say hello. I'm going to invite my friend Kelsey to join us, and we are going to kick this off. About how she tweaks her way to a life she loves. Hello, Lauren. Hello. Oh, Louise, it's good to see you. Kelsey.
Hello, how are you?
Well, you're my book launching twin. We launched books the same week. I'm so proud of you and your new book. Do you have it with you? I should have grabbed it. Darn it.
You know what? I have a copy right up here. I'm gonna grab it. No, I don't. I
Look
have
at that navy blue. We have both have navy blue backgrounds. I love it.
very on trend. Okay, grab the book.
She's grabbing her book. I'm so excited. Then we can be book twins. Okay, show them your book. Oh, it is darling. I just messaged you because I have a community member that does the cutest tweak that I shared with you. She lives far away from her granddaughter, and she said she just bought a copy of your book because she has a private YouTube channel where she reads books to her granddaughter since they don't live in the same state. I love that tweak, and I love that she's going to read one of your book to her granddaughter.
I think that is so genius. I guess I didn't even know you could have like a private YouTube account. But that's so cool, and I was so pumped when I saw her order come through because I'm trying to fill out all 50 states, like where I'm shipping the book to, and so Maine was one that I don't have yet. So I was so excited I got to fill that one in.
It's kind of like Maine and Washington because she said she lives in Maine and her granddaughter lives in Washington. So I was like, that's so cool.
Yeah, that's so cool.
Oh, well, Kelsey, you and I have been longtime friends. We live in the same state. I actually don't even remember. How did we even I don't even know how we originally met. Was it mutual friend? Was it our mutual friend, Jessica? Is that how we met?
That could be. Yes, we have a mutual friend, not too far from where I live. But yeah, I don't know. I feel like I've always seen you online, and then we would just like start talking a little bit more on messages
and now we like Marco Polo and text.
Yes.
And you stop by when you're in town, which is so fun. So, okay. So I launched my book, Tiny Tweaks Happy Life. And for me, I'm sure like you, I want to know how this actually plays out in somebody's life because I don't want it just to be something that they read and forget about. A tiny tweak can make a big impact. So I have to know, has there been a tiny tweak you've made lately that has either simplified your life or made it more joyful?
Yes. Well, first off, I want to say again, congratulations. For anyone who doesn't know, this has been like one of Erin's dreams for literal years, like decades, I should say. I mean, she's like, this has been a long time dream, and she has put in so much work to this book. I am so excited to have it out. I'm gonna start reading it this weekend because we're actually home, which is weird. So I'm really looking forward to that. So first off, huge congratulations. In terms of, okay, so one tweak that I have started doing that has made my mornings so much less stressful. So I have 4 kids. They're 8, almost 6, 4, and close to 2. So they're all young, but the older 2 are starting to feel like they want a little bit more independence and they want to make their own decisions. And so in the mornings, it's always chaotic. I like to get my workout in the mornings. We need to get breakfast made. We need to get clothes picked out. And so one thing that I've started doing on Sunday afternoons is when I'm putting laundry away, I try to set out 5 outfits for each of the kids. I put them in their room, and they don't have to be in a certain order. Now, of course, if they have something special at school on a certain day, you know, they'll have to wear that on that day. But I like that they can choose their outfit in the realm of what I have given them. So it gives them a little bit of independence. They can get dressed as soon as they want to once they're awake. And it's a lot less stressful. I pick it all out once and I don't have to think about it throughout the week. Otherwise it's, you know, oh shoot, I forgot to get her socks, or I forgot, you know, that shirt's too small. You know, I can do it all when I'm putting the clothes away, and it just makes life so much easier in the mornings.
I love that. And then you always know that what they need is clean and ready to go. Because sometimes my kid will be like, oh, I have no clean pants.
Right. Or nothing that matches. Like, I want to wear this shirt, but I don't have pants to match it. Or I'm out of socks, and it's like, no, everything is on your pile. You should have 5 piles, take the whole thing and get dressed. So that's worked really, really well. I've been doing that for a few weeks now, and I think the kids really like it too. A little bit of independence, but not too much.
I love that it gives. So to tie it back to my book, when I had my book cover, they sent me like 5 covers as opposed to like 35, right? And it was a much easier decision than for like a kid to look in their entire closet and be like, I don't know what to wear. Like you're. It's almost like when you go to the Cheesecake Factory versus a place that has like 5 options, right? The person comes back at the Cheesecake Factory, you're like, I still have no idea. It's a 40-page menu. Whereas like these are the 5 options I have, it's much easier to pick out. I love that. That's so smart, but giving them that autonomy to make a choice. So smart.
Right. I would love if someone could like set 5 outfits out for me. Like, wouldn't that make life so much easier? Just tell me what to wear and I'll wear it.
I love that. So smart. Okay. So you are the queen of making dinner time easy. You have the best simple recipes. You've been on the Food Network. You've met Ree Drummond. You appeared lots of places. So tell us, what has been a tiny tweak that has helped your community the most in the kitchen?
I think the biggest thing for me is when it comes to mealtime, first of all, I need something quick because by the time I start, once the kids know I'm in the kitchen, they all of a sudden they're starving. I'm sure you can relate to that. So when I think about what I'm going to have for a meal, if I'm going to make a main dish that takes a little more hands-on time, I try to make sure that my sides are very simple. If it's grapes and carrot sticks or a bag of frozen vegetables and strawberries, keeping it very simple. So I only have to focus on one thing. I think that's really helpful. Also, I would say the biggest thing that I think has resonated really well with my audience is creating recipes that can be created in one dish. My one pot meals go over really well, and I think for good reason. I mean, nobody wants to have 6 pots that they need to clean at the end of the night. So I have a lot of like my one pot spaghetti where you don't have to boil the noodles separate from, cooking the meat and cooking the sauce. It's just, you do it all in one dish. And that not only doesn't just make for a quick prep, but it also makes for a really quick and easy cleanup because let's be honest, after spaghetti night, like we pretty much just throw our kids in the bath. Like there's like the toddler, there's no other direction we can go after spaghetti than straight to the bathtub. And I don't want to come back to a sink full of dishes. So if I can keep it really simple in terms of prep, that's the way to go, at least in this season of life.
Yeah, that is something I learned from you that I never knew before, was that you can literally cook the noodles in with everything else. I had like, that is mind blowing to me. Like I had no idea you could do that. So that's a super, and like you said, so simple on the prep and so simple on the finish. And you do such a good job of explaining how to make that happen.
Oh, well, thank you. And I think the other really huge thing about that too is that the noodles really take on the flavor of the sauce. So instead of boiling in water and feeling like the noodles are a little bit bland, I mean, yes, you still have the sauce, but it's just not the same. Once you boil it in the sauce, like you're never going to go back. There's just so much more flavor. And I think that's another thing that readers just really appreciate about those meals.
Yeah, so cool. Again, the tiniest tweak, but it's like mind blowing, so different. Okay, so one of the things I talk about in the book is really making sure that you're saying yes to the right things and no to the wrong things. Because sometimes in our culture, it's all about optimizing and making everything better, right? But that runs the risk of overcomplicating our lives because sometimes we tweak what doesn't need to be tweaked, right? So what is the question you always ask yourself before you start anything?
That is a great question. First of all, I always ask myself, is this something that is getting me to where I want to be? When I think about my priorities, I think about my time with my family, my time working, my time with the church, my time with the school. It's like there are so many different ways that you can be pulled. And so first off, just thinking, okay, is this something that I want to do, and is it worth my time? I think so first of all, Zach and I really try to make sure that we're not we love to help in the community, but I think it's also really important to us to make sure we're not saying yes too much. So right now I'm really, really focused on our new daycare in the community. And so for me to be able to just focus on that and not worry about tons of other things and what other meetings do I have, I know I can always make it to that meeting. I know I can be all in when I'm there. And Zach's the same way with the nursing home. It's funny, we have like everything from babies to old people. And I love that. And so we're both really focused on what we're doing right now in the community. I think eventually, you know, one of us would love to be on the school board, but it's like, no, we need to focus and finish the projects that we really want to see complete in those places, and then we can move on. So I think it's just prioritizing and making sure I'm not saying yes to too much. And I think that also really goes in my professional like career as well. I used to really, really struggle at saying no because, you know, the more projects you take on, the more money. But I remember someone told me one time, they said, are you ever going to look back and say, oh my gosh, I wish I would have spent more time working? You know, I know I will never ever say that. Will I ever look back though and say, man, I wish I had more time with my kids when they were young? Yeah. So that's something that I always try to remind myself is this work extra? Is it worth the extra time outside of my workday while the kids are at school? Most of the time, the answer is no.
Yeah, that's such a good reminder. And something that I was talking with my business coach the other day about an opportunity, and she was like, I just don't think it's the right season for you right now.
Yep.
No for now is not a no forever. And that kind of helps me too. Like what you said with like the school board, like right now I'm doing this. That doesn't mean I never can. And sometimes we think that like, well, the opportunity is going to be gone, but if it's meant for us, that it'll come back around.
Yes, for sure. And the other thing I was thinking too, when someone asks me if I want to be a part of something, what I've tried to train myself to do is, even if I'm pretty sure I want to do it or I'm pretty sure I don't want to, I always say I'll come back to you and let you know by Friday. That way I can actually zoom out and really think about my priorities and make sure that it falls in line. And if not, it also gives me a timeline that I need to let them know by. So I'm not going to let myself stew on it and like let them wonder if I'm still interested. I give a timeline for myself. That way they know one way or the other. And I can feel more confident in my decision rather than just right off the bat being like, oh, sure, I'll do that, and then kind of regretting it later. So
I think that's so good because sometimes we can say no because we're avoiding something scary, right? Like sometimes we're like, I don't want to do that. That's scary. When really that's something we're called to. So that space gives us time to kind of evaluate, like what you said, like, is this aligned with my priorities? Am I just avoiding it because I'm scared? Is this out of guilt? Like all of those things that we can think about. That's so wise. Okay, so in the book, it's not just about simplification. Like, of course, we want to make our lives easier, but it also is all about like making your life more enjoyable, right? We're simplifying so there's more space. And if we don't know what makes us happy, well, we're just going to fill that space with more stuff. So I have to know, has there been a tiny joy that you've really enjoyed lately?
I will say this morning I was really excited to go outside and walk in this glorious 35-degree weather, but it was so windy it wasn't quite as glorious as I was hoping. I would say definitely the sunshine these last couple days has been so nice. And also, like, as much as I really kind of dread this season of the year, just the cold and, you know, living in Iowa, it can get long, but I really like these weekends tend to be slow for us. You know, dance competitions haven't started yet. You know how that goes. Our kids aren't in a lot of sports yet. And so typically when we have weekends in like late winter, early spring, they tend to be a little bit more slow. So it's really fun for Zach and I. Like last night we were just saying we had nothing planned this weekend, you know, other than the Super Bowl Sunday, which we won't do a whole lot, but it's, you know, what can we do fun with the kids? You know, even if it's just for a couple hours on a Saturday, it's like just being a little more slow and looking forward to that and figuring out, you know, how can we create some more memories in those slower moments is so nice.
Yeah, we've been doing the happiness menu. I've been talking about it with the kids, like coming up with a couple of things that the kids want to do and putting it on the happiness menu so that we can pick some things off of it. Because sometimes, I don't know about you, like the weekend can kind of like get long or drag on. And I'm
Yeah.
like, okay, if we have a few things that like, okay, this kid wants to do this and this kid wants to do that, it kind of gives us some things to choose from, which helps too. But
Right.
we're in the same boat. Yeah, a little bit quieter, which is nice.
Totally. And I would say the only other thing, and my husband is going to laugh at this because yesterday I came up with I have a new, like, I think people call it like hyperfixation these days. Well, first of all, I'm really fixated on sweet potatoes these days. I'll just roast a ton of sweet potatoes on Sunday and eat them throughout the week. I just ate one cold yesterday, which is bizarre. But yesterday also, I really wanted a piece of chocolate cake. I love chocolate. I'm a big dessert person. And so I made a chocolate mug cake, and it was like life changing. My husband was like laughing the whole time because I'm like, this is so good. Like, this is exactly what I needed. So anyways, you'll have to keep an eye because I'm going to have a recipe for that. You'll
I
have
was
to see
gonna
if you
say,
can make it like gluten-free, dairy-free. I'm not sure about that, but
yeah.
yeah.
Well, the gluten, usually I can use the one-to-one flour. It's the dairy, the butter but sometimes I can use
Yes.
oil for that. So that would be okay.
True. So
Yeah.
stay posted on that. But man, that has been it's nice because like you don't have a whole pan of chocolate cake. Like I don't need a whole pan, but like it's like gets rid of that craving. It's so yummy.
I know. Life is better with a little bit of chocolate. I talk about that in the book. It's just a good life motto. When in doubt, add
Yes.
chocolate.
100%. Yes, I always need a little something sweet. Yep.
All right. Well, show them their book one more time, your book.
Okay. There it is.
Okay. Yes. Okay. So, what we're going to do, if you are watching this, I'm going to give away one of my books and I'm going to give away one of Kelsey's books if you leave a comment on this live. So, you'll get both of our books. If you leave a comment down below, I'll pick somebody and you'll be blessed with two books to enjoy on the slower weekends. Kelsey, thank you so much for sharing how you tweak your way to a life you love. I'm so proud of you with your new book. And I know it's going to bless so many readers and just remind them of the joy a recipe can bring in connecting generations.
Yes, and same to you. I cannot wait to start diving in this weekend.
All right. Thanks, friends. Happy Friday.
Yeah,
Happy sunshine.
talk to you soon.